And okay. And the other thing that I have to tell you is, and I will add this before, because as soon as I start sharing my screen, I won't be able to see as much. I'm adding a link in the chat window. Today's presentation is based off of a blog post that we posted last week. So let me share my screen and we'll get started. Okay. Grab my we're going to go into grab my Windows cover up things. Can everyone see this? My slides?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, hi, my name is Laura. I work at Stitchcraft Marketing, and my colleagues Flossie and Rebecca are here today with me. Stitchcraft Office Hours is just something that we have done. We decided to sort of give back to you. We started this in the pandemic, and what we do is we spend about 10 or 15 minutes talking about a topic that we feel might be of interest to you. And then when we are done, we open up the floor for questions, and questions can be about the topic at hand, or it can be about anything you want. Here's your chance to ask us for a little free advice. If you happen to miss this talk, all of our talks are also available on our YouTube channel, and so this one will be up there later today, and we meet approximately once a month. So today's talk is about what makes a great social media post, and this is based on our most recent blog post of the same name. And we just, this year we have, or this fall, we have started to kind of go back to basics and talk about what makes a great newsletter, what makes a great social media post, and just kind of give you a primer on the basics so you can be sure that you're hitting all your bases. So you can find that post on our blog, and then I have just expanded on it a little in today's presentation. So what makes a great post? What makes something eye-catching? What makes us stop and read the post and, you know, sort of stop the scroll so that we're looking at something? And I would posit that there are three things that make a great post. So first of all, and this is another post that I really, really loved. The first, the three elements that I would say are media, description, and a link or call to action. So first of all, whether it's a photo, a video, a link to somebody else's video, it is some kind of eye-catching content that is going to make you stop and think, hey, I want that, or I want to learn more about that, or wow, that's an amazing photo. I want to know what's going on there. The second is a description. Obviously, you want a thoughtful description for each post. You want to include your relevant keywords, but you don't want to keyword stuff. You want to be conversational. You want to encourage people to read more and find out more. And then the third point is a link or a call to action. What do you want people to do with this post? This may look like, hey, click on over to the blog or click on over to our website to read this blog post. It could be, you know, do you want to make one? This pattern is available. It could be join my newsletter list to hear about upcoming events or things that we're doing. It could be leave a comment below and tell me what you're thinking, or tag a friend and let them know what's going on. So it's some kind of action that you want your customer to take. And we often see posts that have a picture or a video and a great description, but it doesn't ask the customer to do anything. And you sort of miss that opportunity to share something, get them to dig in a little deeper, get them to engage with you. The whole purpose is to sort of build a relationship with your customer, have some communication with them, give them more information, let them know that you are a trusted source for where to find what they're looking for. So one of the key things is optimizing your media files. Every platform has a slightly different media file size. And as you can see here, this is basically the same information, the same graphic, the same text, but it is in a variety of different formats. So for instance, Instagram photos should be square. Now you can do other sizes, but if you're looking at what it's going to look like on your grid as people maybe look at your profile, you want to be sure that you're hitting that optimal size. And the optimal size is actually 1080 by 1080 pixels. You can do smaller, although the quality is not as great, and you can certainly do larger, but you want to keep the square in mind. Facebook photos should be 1,500 pixels wide and up to 1,200 pixels tall. So they get a slightly wider in a 5:4. Let me do the math on that again. Yes, 5:4 ratio. And again, you can do it in higher quality, but you want to kind of maintain that ratio. That is kind of the optimal photo size. If you're looking at doing videos for Instagram should be shot in portrait mode, so you make use of the whole screen. Also, unlike your YouTube videos that are shot mostly in landscape form, a lot of your Instagram videos if you shoot them in portrait mode, it makes them a lot more conversational. You have a lot less white space or black space on your screen that is unfilled. You get to sort of expand, and it makes them more personable and kind of one-to-one. It is definitely something you want to consider if you're creating Instagram videos. Videos for Facebook can be shot either landscape or portrait mode, and we give some optimal ratios here. And then I also added an IGTV or story cover, which is also roughly the same size as a Pinterest pin. Your optimal Pinterest pins, you want them to be 1,000 by 1,500. That's 1,000 wide by 1,500 long, so you've got a 2:3 ratio there. So, and if you use a free graphics program like Canva, which we love, it's canva.com. They have all these preset sizes in there, so you can just, it says, what do you want to create? And you can select Instagram post, you can select IG story, you can select Pinterest pin, and all of the optimal sizes are already in there. So what about hashtags? Hashtags are primarily used on Instagram. You can use a few hashtags on Twitter because they are searchable on Twitter. Honestly, it's not worth using them on Facebook or Pinterest because they are not searchable there. The one exception is you might want to hashtag a post with your branded hashtag if you have one, and you should have one. And you could potentially, if you have something funny or sarcastic to say, you could use a hashtag to sort of get that point across, something like sorry, not sorry, or, something kind of funny, but you generally don't want to worry about putting a whole bunch of hashtags on other posts because mostly they're distracting. So you want to focus on those just on Instagram. And how do you find the ones you want to use? First of all, follow influencers and competitors in your industry, see what they are using. It's not that you want to exactly copy them, but if they're using popular hashtags and they have a lot of people engaging with their content, there may be people engaging with those hashtags, and you could adopt those as your own. As I said, you definitely want to develop a branded hashtag for your business. Now, this could be your business name, or if your business name is really long and you have a motto, you could use that too. This is an entirely non-crafty, like we tag everything Stitchcraft Marketing. But an entirely non-crafty example is, so Nike could hashtag something Nike. They could also hashtag it just do it, because you know that that is their hashtag. And if you have some kind of a byline or a tagline that you're using that you think makes you unique, you should definitely go ahead and use that. The other thing you can do is you can capitalize on trending topics if you have something that's relevant. I know that this was a big phase on TikTok where there was the sea shanty phase. There have been a variety of trends, and if you have something that relates to the trend, go ahead and add that trending hashtag to your set of hashtags because people are going to find your posts there. So a quick note about hashtags: you want to look for hashtags that are fairly specific to you. And I say that because if you are hashtagging, say, yarn, you're going to end up in a sea of posts, millions of posts. But if you hashtag indie dyed yarn or hand dyed yarn, it's going to be a slightly smaller pool that you're going to be featured in. So you do want to try and get as narrow as you can in your niche, just so that you can attract some attention. So, and I see there's a question in chat, but I can't see chat right now. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to wait till the end of the presentation and I will come back and grab that one. Because I just don't have enough spaces to put windows right now. So then the question is, what should you share? You want to be generous with your give content. This is things that you're sharing with people for free. So you don't always just want to be promoting your products. Or if you want to promote your products, maybe you want to promote a way that they can use your product that will save them time or make their life easier. You want to show them how using your products might help them in their life, or you want to give them tips and tricks and free information. Basically, you should have at least a 50-50 give content to your actual like promotional sales content. And really, when we discuss it, we say you should really have like 30 to 40% give content. You should have another 30% or so of your branded content, which is sharing how your product helps, sharing what your brand values are, those kinds of things, talking about your values as a company. And then you really should only have 20 to 30% of your posts actually be promotional in nature. And that's because you want people to want to see what you're posting and not to constantly feel like, oh, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Now, a lot of your posts can feature your products or services in them and how people use them, but you just don't want to literally have a buy our new thing every single post. We also suggest you promote Cornerstone content. We have talked about this in past presentations. Cornerstone content is content that you create that is often evergreen content, meaning it's good today, tomorrow, forever, and it showcases your expertise on a particular topic. So if you are a yarn or fabric store, perhaps you want to create a piece of content, whether it's a video or a blog post, about how to choose colors to work together in a project. So either choosing colors of yarn or choosing colors of fabric. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about the color wheel, and how you select things to either complement or contrast each other. You're going to create this piece of content. It should live somewhere on your website. So it should be a blog post. It should be a way to refer people back to your blog. And then you are going to share things about that piece of content. And for every piece of content you create, you ought to be able to share a lot of different things without giving the whole blog post away. For instance, maybe you're talking about 10 of my top tips on how to pick colors for your project. Well, maybe you're going to pick tips 1, 3, and 5, and you're going to do 3 separate posts on them and still refer people back to that Cornerstone content. And that post is going to be good now, but it's also going to be good next fall when everybody's planning all of their new fall projects and you want to talk about how to pick colors and you're like, hey, we have this great post in our archives or this great video that we want to share with you about how to pick colors for your projects. And then the final piece is create branded graphic templates to develop a look and feel that your followers will recognize. You notice everything that we put out has our logo on it, and we use the same font with our title. And then we also often pick similar colors. We pick brights. We have, 5 colors that comprise our logo: the hot pink, the blue, the green, the orange, and the purple. And we try and echo those in a lot of the images we pick or in the backgrounds we set. For instance, you can even see that I have the green line around my slides today. So think about the optimal image sizes that I showed you and how all of those looked roughly the same. And then you can create some of those templates of your own for all of your posts. So this, I got asked a little bit in under a separate file on how to use Facebook Business Manager or the Business Suite. And so I just wanted to put in a couple slides showing you how you can schedule posts to both your Facebook and your Instagram in Business Suite. And scheduling is a total lifesaver. We here at the agency, when we post social media posts for a client, we batch post. At the beginning of every week, we schedule all of our posts throughout the week so that we do not have to remember to post every single day or at a specific time. So this is a total time saver. And now that the Facebook Business Suite allows you to post to both your Instagram and your Facebook account from one dashboard, that means you can post to both in one place. You can do the same posts, you can do different posts, you can slightly modify your text as appropriate. So I just wanted to put in a couple screenshots. This is what happens when you go into your Business Suite and you go into the posts and stories. You can see in the very left-hand column of the photo, you can see that the little icon with the little posts and stories is highlighted. Once you get into into Posts and Stories, this is what you can see. This is everything that has been published. You can also click scheduled or drafts to find out other things you have scheduled or drafts. And up at the top, you can see the two icons. It has the logo for Eucalan, and then it also has the Facebook icon and the Instagram icon. That shows that both accounts are connected here. So this screen also gives you some quick metrics. So you can see your reach, you can see how many people engaged with it, how many reacted or liked it, and how many comments are on there. So this is a good quick snapshot of what it is that you're doing in both places, and it's all in one spot for you to look at. Some functions of the creating posts. Business Suite is one of those things that Facebook has been rolling out for the last year or two. So some functions, if you click on them, they may actually take you over to Creator Studio. That is just if it hasn't been rolled out to your specific account, or just some things they haven't transitioned yet. I expect, honestly, that Creator Studio is probably going to go away in the future, and it's probably all going to be under Business Suite, but it may take a little while to get there. And I do see I have more questions. I'm almost done, and then I will get to those, I promise. So creating Posts and Stories. This is, oops, let me go back. Where's my image? Do you guys see the image here? Because I don't. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So when you create a new post, and the create post was just in the upper right-hand corner of the previous screen. When you create a new post, this is the screen that you're going to get. And you can see you can select where you want the post to go, if you want it to go to one or both. You can type in text, and the text box on the left is text that it will duplicate for Facebook and Instagram. So you can just write one long bit of text. You can add your hashtags there, and then you can also go down into the media section and add a photo or a video, and then you can add a location. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of your post. You add everything you need there. You can customize the posts in the middle menu, which is where you can click on either Facebook or Instagram and you can customize. So for instance, I draft posts in a separate document before I even go to schedule them. And I cut and paste all of my text into the text box. But then, for instance, when I go to post on Facebook, maybe I don't want all the hashtags on Facebook. Maybe I only want one or two of them. So I go into the Facebook text box and delete a few of those hashtags. And then the other thing is that on Facebook, you can add a link that is immediately clickable. So I definitely want to add a link there. Whereas in Instagram, the links are not clickable from the profile. So you also might want to change the text to say, if you want to learn more, click the link in our profile, and then you can add the link into your profile. And we recommend using something like Linktree or link in bio for your profile on Instagram, so you can put easy links in there that people can click once. But as you can see, you can sort of write both posts and use one sort of theme text. Like a lot of times I post roughly the same thing to both platforms, and then I just customize the language slightly, like click the link below to learn more, or follow, click over to our profile to find the link to learn more. So that's kind of how I use this. And then the preview all the way on the right will show you exactly what it looks like on both platforms. So you'll get to see your text, you'll get to see your link, you'll get to see your photo, you'll get to see your hashtag, everything. And then down at the bottom where it says publish, if you click the little arrow next to publish, there is also a schedule button, and then you can pick the day and time that you want it to go live. You can also boost a post from here. So if you want to put a little money behind it, you can add some money behind it. So this is kind of an all-in-one screen that lets you do everything you need to do for social media posting, at least on Facebook and Instagram. So finally, the other section that I'll talk about in Business Suite, just because it is relevant. Yes, in the overview, you can see how things did, but in Insights, you can see how people are reacting to your posts. And it's going to show you your results for both Facebook and Instagram, so you can kind of analyze what's working well, what's not working well. You should make time to review this every few weeks or once a month. It's not worth doing it day by day unless you're specifically looking, if you have some money to spend in advertising, you might want to see what posts are doing doing really well, what people are really liking and engaging with, and then you can put a little money behind those. But in general, you just want to look at these every few weeks, see how your posts did, see what content did the best, and then try and do more like that. It's not magic. It's just looking at your analytics and seeing if you have questions and what else you can do to sort of answer those questions. So I think that covers the basics of social media posting. I am going to stop sharing my screen now, and I will go back to some of the questions. Okay, when creating your branded hashtag, how long should it be? It shouldn't be super long. It should be something that's pretty quick to type. It's something that you also want to encourage your customers to use when sharing posts. So for instance, if you are a yarn store and you're selling yarn, or you're selling fabric, or you're selling kits, and your customers actually make the project and share it on Instagram, you want them to be able to tag you and say, hey, I made this kit that I got from this store, because it will increase your exposure. So if your business name is really long, you might want to consider abbreviating it. You certainly don't want to do like a 10-word hashtag, because that is just hard to read. Like ours is a little bit long, but we use Stitchcraft Marketing as our business name. Is this an app or a website? This is Facebook Business Suite is on Facebook. And like I said, they have rolled features of it out to users over time. And so Creator Studio is part of that. And like I said, you may be in Creator Studio. You should have the ability to create posts for both accounts still in Creator Studio. It's just that at some point, I expect Creator Studio may go away and they may fold it into the Business Suite, because they're trying to make the Business Suite kind of your one-stop shopping. Oh, that's Flossie. Yeah, Flossie's totally right. She says, after you've created your IG account and your fans and customers, if they're using something that they use to tag you, something that they have sort of popularized, you might want to use that as well. You know, you can take your cues from your audience as well. So does anyone have any questions? I can open the floor. It can be about social media posts or not. And you can unmute yourselves if you'd like to or not. Okay, I'll give you one more second to decide if you have them. I will tell you that our next session of office hours is going to be on November 16th. That's a Tuesday at 2 p.m. And we will be covering how to take still images and turn them into videos. So we've been talking a lot about how all the platforms really want video content these days. And Flossie is actually going to lead us through an exercise. She has some tools where you can take a lot of your still photos and turn them into a short, basically slideshow movie. And that will qualify as a video, and then you can post things like that in your Instagram Reels or in your Instagram Stories or other places. So that's going to be our topic next month. And I'll give you once more on the questions. If anybody has any questions, they are welcome to ask.
I have a quick question, Laura.
Sure.
And I guess I just want clarification. So you talk about 20 to 30% of your posts should be promotional, but then you're also saying that there should be a call to action. So sometimes I think those two, if you're only telling me to do promotion a little bit, but you're telling me to do a call to action all the time, can you explain that a little bit further?
Sure. Call to action can be things like if you've written a really good blog, like my example of choosing colors for your yarn project. You can tell people, hey, I've got this really great free post or free tutorial on how to choose colors for any project, you know, colors that contrast or complement. And that's sharing something for free. It's sharing your knowledge for free. It's not specifically asking them to buy something. Now, it has the side effect of getting them to go over to your website, and maybe in your tutorial, you're going to link everything that you showed. You know, you're going to say, I featured these fabrics in this tutorial and these yarns, and you're going to put links to the products in your shop. So they may go over and shop, but you're not literally saying, hey, buy these 5 yarns, these are brand new, we want you to check these out.
Okay.
You're sort of, but you are leading them back to content that you've created. It could be something like, we send out a monthly newsletter and we publish all of our deals and coupon codes in our newsletter. So make sure you sign up so that the next time we have new products, you'll be the first to know. So you're not necessarily selling them something every single post, even if you are getting them to engage with you.
Okay. And one more question. Can you tell me the pattern of the sweater that you're wearing?
Sure. This is the dovetail sweater. It is by Quinn Reverendo, and it was designed for Monostil Uruguay. I used their Alegria Grande. They do mini skeins of the worsted weight. It was designed for their Alegria Grande, and then they do these mini skeins that are called bocados, which stands for, it means like little bites. And so it's just the colorwork section, and then it's got the colorwork at the cuffs. And if you tuned in early enough, you'll remember that I said that I ran out one row too.
Yeah,
but
it's
yes,
beautiful.
But and then actually I did not use, it is meant to be done in Alegria Grande, but you can do it in any worsted. And this is actually a small batch that I got from a dyer or from a small mill. But yeah, it was super fun. I mean, the body and the arms were a little bit of a slog after I got through the fun part, but it's super toasty.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's on Ravelry and it's also on the Monostil Uruguay site.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Anyone else? Okay, then thank you for joining us. We hope we'll see you next month. If you need us, please feel free to contact us anytime. You can just respond to the emails that you get about these sessions. And I hope you're having a good fall. Thanks.